We all deserve to give Chris Pratt a round of applause, a man who continues to prove that he is one of the very few people in Hollywood who is a true patriot, someone who actually loves his country and appreciates his country and wants to continue to see freedom and liberty extended to everyone, which is not the case when it comes to the left. The left doesn't want you to have freedom and liberty. They don't want you to be able to say your opinions. They don't want you to be able to have your conservative, God-fearing Republican ideas or anything like that. They want you to align yourself with their ideologies, with their mentalities, and if you do not, then they will continue to try to silence you and try to basically shut you down and allow you to not be on any of these platforms. And we're continuing to see this time and time again when it comes to big tech, when it comes to our education system, when it comes to, you know, the universities and everything else. All of these places are continuing to put a crackdown and silence and censor people who do not align themselves with the woke leftist ideology. But Chris Pratt is someone who has actual balls when it comes to Hollywood. He is someone who is willing to continue to be himself, to continue to have his patriotic viewpoints, to continue to push for that. And that is why, unfortunately, Chris Pratt is continuing to be slowly blacklisted and choked out from Hollywood. And it is also why he has started his own studio as well. But before we get into all that, speaking of cancel culture, I do have a sponsor for this video. Today's sponsor comes from Flip City Magazine, a satire magazine that loves poking the bear of political correctness, which is of course something that I appreciate and I know that you guys appreciate as well. And on top of that, they also love to do things like roast cancel culture, something that I talk about a lot on this channel. So, you know, on the back here on this magazine, I found this to be really funny. So it says, remember, always take proper precautions and check local ordinances before reading Flip City in public, and maintain 6 feet distance from social justice warriors, which is of course the minions of cancel culture itself, right? Like SJWs are the ones that are pushing all of this insanity in a lot of cases. So make sure that you go check out Flip City Magazine and use the coupon code JR10 when you subscribe over there to get 10% off, and that really does help support me a lot, and also, you know, gives you a little discount as well. So as you know, this channel is still demonetized, so that really would mean a lot to me if you guys would do that. So with that being said, make sure you use that coupon code JR10 over at Flip City Magazine to go and get yourself a very nice discount over there. It really does help me out a lot, and thank you so much, everyone. Let's go ahead and get to this video now about Chris Pratt. So the Tomorrow War star Chris Pratt stands by the US military on Flag Day, encourages others to exercise their right to freedom of expression, which should be a right for all Americans, right? And that is what I truly believe. The left doesn't believe that. They don't think that I should be able to express myself freely. They don't think that you should be able to express yourself freely. But that is what I believe. I believe that I should be able to freely express myself. I believe that the left should freely express themselves as well. I wish that they would say the same about me, but they will not. So Chris Pratt is one of the few celebrities who is not afraid to show love and respect for his country, unlike some of his insufferable woke Hollywood colleagues, many of whom who constantly feel the need to pander to the woke social justice mob. And how is that working out for them? Not very well, not very well. So further proving just how much of a true American patriot he is, this past Monday, the Tomorrow War actor shared an inspiring message to his personal Instagram account, proudly declaring his respect for the US military and, in honor of Flag Day, the Stars and Stripes. What's more, Pratt also encouraged others to exercise their right to freedom of expression, stating that people are free to say whatever kind of crazy ass shit you want in this country, which should be the case. But unfortunately, it doesn't really feel that way anymore. But what you see here is we have Chris Pratt. Impressive feat from the Navy parachute team, leapfrogs, and they're literally flying like a big ass American flag, which is just super awesome to see. I love it. And this is what he had to say. I love our flag. The stars and stripes represent all of us. Every American, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or political leaning, is protected and free to be themselves in this great country. This banner is yours. You are free to say whatever kind of crazy ass shit you want in this country. And the crazy ass shit I want to say is this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the USA and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, and then he says hashtag happy flag day, hashtag flag day. So, and that should be the case. That should be the case where we are allowed to say whatever crazy ass shit we want, where we are allowed to have our own opinions. But we're seeing big tech not really agree with this. Big tech is continuing to show that they don't have any interest in being, you know, allowing free speech on their platforms. They're not interested in continuing to pursue for individual liberty. What they want is they want a communistic, Marxist, fascist type of ideology where you are only allowed to say what they want you to say, and if you do not, then you will be silenced, destroyed, you know, deplatformed, and whatever else, demonetized, as in my case. So and Chris Pratt is fighting for this. Can you imagine any other Hollywood celebrity saying this? I can think of only like maybe a handful of celebrities from Hollywood who would say this. And that is depressing to say. That should not be the case. We should not have a major institution in our country, which basically is in control of all of our major entertainment, where you can only think of like 5 people who would post this kind of message. That should absolutely not be the case. That is unacceptable. And it does show you where Hollywood lies. In their heart, it shows you where Hollywood lies in their hearts, where they don't have an interest in pro-American ideology. What they want to continue to push for is total and complete control, communistic, Marxist type of control over people's lives. So this is unfortunately the depressing and dark truth about Hollywood and about all of our institutions. None of our institutions are fighting for the people. Big tech isn't. Our education system isn't. You're not allowed to have any sort of real conservative type of opinions at universities or anything else. You know, Hollywood, the media, the government, even, like, now Biden is trying to pass some sort of weird bill or something like that where you aren't allowed to have any sort of anti-government type of statements or ideas or anything like that. Like, that is insane and completely un-American. So, unsurprisingly, this isn't the first time that Pratt has shared inspiring patriotic messages to his personal Instagram account. On Memorial Day, Pratt took to social media platform to share a heartfelt message in which he honored and remembered those who are fallen while performing their military duties, while also calling out those who constantly bitch and moan about America. Thank you. Thank you, Chris Pratt. Which is completely the opposite of what Kamala Harris did, if you remember, for Memorial Weekend. She said, "Enjoy the long weekend." And that's basically all that she did. President Biden for the long weekend said, or for Memorial Weekend said, "Stay cool this weekend, folks." As he gets ice cream, apparently. So, this is, I mean, and then you see Chris Pratt. And Chris Pratt is a complete contrast to that, right? And that is what we're seeing happening in our country right now. We're seeing more of that contrast, where we're seeing more people who love America being on one side of the spectrum, and we're seeing more people like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden on the other side that hate America, hate our troops, hate our military, hate our freedoms, and want to continue to try to destroy those. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like I said, Chris Pratt, this is the reason why Chris Pratt is continuing to be blacklisted in Hollywood. And it is true. It is true. Go look at his IMDb. He's in very few projects moving forward, and unfortunately that is going to continue to be the case. He's not going to be Star-Lord for very much longer. He's not going to continue to be in any of these big blockbuster films moving forward because of, unfortunately, things like this. You just wait and watch. But it is also the reason why he's making his own studio right now as well. So hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new here to my channel. I'd appreciate that a lot. Make sure you go check out Flip City Magazine and use that coupon code in the description of this video. And I will talk to you later. Bye.